It's the 30th of March today, and our clocks have gone forward into British summertime, which means we have much longer evenings. It's high time I did a little walk around the nursery because I've not done that for a while. And since everything is looking so lovely, what a waste of the beautiful sunshine if I didn't go out and photograph all these beautiful, colorful trees. This beautiful Magnolia Solangiana never ceases to give me endless pleasure. Look at it against the bright blue sky. Almost divine. And there are bonsai around, of course. The odd petal on the bough of the bonsai. And the fallen petals have a beauty and charm of their own. Let me walk you through the nursery to show you what's happening, because the leaves are just beginning to emerge from the deciduous trees. We've had a very long, hard winter. It's been a cold and wet winter. February in the south of England was the wettest on record, and March, strangely enough, has been the driest ever March. We haven't had rain for about 3 whole weeks, so everything is very dry. You can see we've been watering all our plants. Our larches are well advanced. Look at the lovely cones this year. This tree is covered in cones. Just beginning to emerge. My big larch here is almost half open. In another week, the needles will be completely open. The flowering trees are extremely well advanced. Our crab apples are just about to flower. The buds are so pretty too. They don't have to be in flower. In fact, the buds are more pink than the flowers themselves. The flowers are mainly white. And we have these lovely Japanese quince chojubai. The flowers are so beautiful. Look at it. So beautiful. And today is what we call Mothering Sunday. So hopefully we will have a very busy day. This is a Korean hornbeam, the lovely catkins and the cones that are emerging. Everything is so beautiful. It really lifts your heart, lifts your spirit after a long, hard winter. Some trees are more advanced than others. My maples haven't started opening yet, but I will show you some maples which we've had in the greenhouse, so they are quite advanced. I'm now walking in my own garden. I keep quite a lot of plants in my own garden because I don't open this part of the nursery to the public. This is where I experiment with all my trident maples. Years and years of experimentation to see how they perform. And even at my old age, I'm planting new trees. This is a new type of ornamental peach blossom that I came across recently. I planted about 6 or 10 of these around the nursery. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? I'm now going to show you the white version of the ornamental peach. Botanical name is Prunus dulcis, but the exact variety I wouldn't know. It's a double flowered white. So it's not the blackthorn or the sloe that you get in the British hedgerows. These are actual ornamental peach blossom. And of course I have a lot of camellia on the nursery. Camellias are such beautiful flowers. You get them in so many colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. This is heavy in bloom, heavy in bloom. For those of you who have a good memory, you may recall I dug out my great big exocorda, which has a massive trunk. Look at that trunk. And I'm in the middle of trying to make this into a bonsai with that big trunk. It hasn't died, but I'm waiting for new shoots to come from low down the tree. and then I will chop it off, or I can airlay parts of it. We have lots of forsythia. Some are single ones, some are double. I'll show you the others that we have. And this is a beautiful star magnolia called Magnolia stellata, and it's this lovely purple or light mauve color. The flowers are not as large as the Solangiana, but more delicate. Unfortunately, with most magnolias, the deciduous magnolias, the flowers don't last more than a couple of weeks, if that. And soon the frost and the wind will blow all the petals away. I noticed that our Japanese cherries, we have a lot of white Japanese cherries and one pale green one called Taihaku. They bloom much later, but I will show you the other Japanese cherries that we have on the nursery. I noticed that there are a lot of bees fluttering around. And we have blue skies for a change. But I did say that March has been very dry, so we've had a lot of sunshine this year. These are my large Deshojo maples. They're about, I would say, 20 to 25 foot, maybe even 30 foot tall. And they are only just about to emerge into leaf. But the red doesn't stay for long. In 2 or 3 weeks after emerging red, they turn green. This is a katsura, a large katsura. The birds are chirping. But the oak trees are probably one of the last trees to come into leaf. Some of our white cherries are in bloom. Weeping willow just coming into leaf. And I will take you in a minute to a field where we have a lot of daffodils. The daffodil is a quintessential English flower, loved by all the poets and bards. This is my cherry tree. We have several cherry trees, about 6 cherry trees. I like to grow them in this very informal fashion. It has only just started blooming in the last 2 days, so there's a lot more to come. So this is Herons in the spring. If ever you get a chance to visit, please come and visit us. Yesterday was Saturday and we had 3 families from the United States visit us. Always lovely having our YouTube family from all over the world come and see us. We are part of a large family of like-minded people. I'm going to take you to some wisteria bonsai that I'm in the middle of making. There are large stumps that we dug out from our hedge about 6 or 10 years ago. Some of them are already bonsai, but these are still being trained. And they all have these massive trunks. Look at the size of the trunk of that one. I'm going to show you another one. This one has very dense double flowers. Look at the flowers on this. Look at that trunk. These maples have been out in the open all winter, and without any protection they are all emerging from their dormancy. For those of you who don't live in the UK or live in the Western Hemisphere, you may not have come across daffodils, but daffodils are absolutely beautiful flowers. I normally don't like yellow colored flowers, but the daffodil is one exception. They have these trumpet-like shapes, and they bloom in early spring. And when the daffodils start blooming, we know that the winter is over. These have just grown wild. I don't divide them or spray them, so they just multiply endlessly. In fact, we had so much that where we had to plant our trees, we had to dig some of them up. I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I do love English poetry, and there's a very famous poem by the poet William Wordsworth called "I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud." I'm going to read it to you because it's about daffodils. So here goes. I wandered lonely as a cloud, a poem by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. I hope you've enjoyed the reading of that poem. So have a lovely spring. Bye.